The job of the entrepreneur is to identify opportunities in good and particularly in bad situations. Because the way that I look at it right now, there are a lot of companies that have actually been born out of the pandemic because they saw, oh, there is an opportunity during this bad time to create this business. Therefore, they grew, di ba?
Hey guys, so it's nice to do something face-to-face once again. In this video, we have RJ Ledesma sharing his thoughts on what's happening in the economy, how we see pivoting, where we see investing, and if you're a business person, you're an investor, you're the type of person that wants to take advantage of opportunities, this video is for you. Learn from the tips, learn from the strategies, and try to use it on what you could actually do to make yourself bigger, better, stronger as we end the year. And I really believe this, that no matter what's going on, there's so much opportunity around. There's so much opportunity on how you can actually thrive, on how you can get bigger, on how you can actually win. And it's nice to hear the thoughts of other people and in a very, very live setting and having the ability to be able to do in front of everyone, because over the past few years we've been doing everything just via Zoom and just meeting virtually. So I hope you learn from this. I hope that this is something that encourages you and this adds so much value to you. How are you, RJ?
Oh, okay naman so far. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride during this whole pandemic, but then we had to learn to pivot our businesses, some successfully, some not so successfully, but all learning, all great learning.
Got it. And it's an honor to actually see you again. Ang tagal na, sobrang
tagal na face-to-face. And we actually had one on business opportunities online back in 2020. You guys can take a look at the interview also here in the YouTube.
Okay, I wanna start this off with just a simple question. Inflation is high. Gas prices are higher. The dollar is also very high. There's still a war in Ukraine. We're still in COVID. There's a lot of uncertainty around, but what's your frame of mind? What's your strategy right now?
I guess that's a really great question, especially if you employ what we call the entrepreneurial mindset. Bakit, diba? Let me explain with my pair of glasses analogy. If I take off my glasses and I look around, you know, things are not clear, malabo yung whatever I'm looking at, diba? But all of a sudden, when I wear my glasses, things come into focus. I can see things sharply. Same thing when it came to this pandemic. Let's say I came into this pandemic like a regular person, regular citizen, and I saw all of these problems from the pandemic with, let's say, social distancing or lockdown or disruption of the supply chain. It's a scary situation, right? But then what happens all of a sudden when I put on my entrepreneurial lens, right? You're not looking at it and saying that, okay, there's a lockdown. You're saying, what are the opportunities now present when there's a lockdown? What are the opportunities present now because of social distancing? What are the opportunities present now because of the disruption in the supply chain? So what the entrepreneur is focused on are the opportunities that are there. And the job of the entrepreneur is not to say whether a situation is good or bad. The job of the entrepreneur is to identify opportunities in good and particularly in bad situations. Because the way that I look at it right now, there are a lot of companies that have actually been born out of the pandemic because they saw, oh, there is an opportunity during this bad time to create this business. Therefore, they grew, di ba? So if you look at it, a bad time, so for example, a lot of specific health and wellness businesses actually emerged because they were saying, oh, it's a bad time, people are now concerned more about their health. So they create really great health products, whatever it is na pang-stamina, you know, to prevent getting COVID, all these things. And these businesses actually did good. Other businesses which did good were last mile logistics companies. There's a company by a good friend I had recently, her name is Marjorie Rubio of Beck CS. They developed a last mile logistics solution in the midst of the pandemic and grew their business in the pandemic. So there's actually a lot of great businesses that you think of. If you think of it now, okay, bad times, scary, but you think of what are the opportunities present, and and not everything is going to always work. But the idea is that as an entrepreneur, when you try them out, that's when you learn to pivot the business from there. Because if you never do it, you'll never learn how to navigate these challenging times.
Does that translate to you being more aggressive also now, or what's your stance? Are you more cautious?
Maybe the idea is not to think whether you're aggressive or you're cautious, but the idea is identifying opportunities, diba? And it's identifying opportunities like in good and bad times. So for example, during the good times, there are opportunities which exist, and you take advantage of them or you leverage them. During not so good times, there are other opportunities which come out and you take advantage of them. So I think that's really the way that you look at it. Like for the business, we realized, for example, during the pandemic, we had to say, okay, what are the opportunities which are emerging right now? Maybe they're developed hybrid or dark cloud kitchens for businesses which I run, or to do more e-commerce related businesses because it was the height of the pandemic, diba? That was the opportunity which existed there. But now, as things are easing up and pandemic restrictions are easing up, you start thinking about okay, now what are the opportunities that are present because everybody needs to go to alfresco area. So you think of other opportunities. So it's always a continuum, diba? You never think of it na opportunities only exist now or be aggressive now. It's not that you always have to be aggressive, but you always have to be open to that opportunity mindset of what's happening. For example, another business which I run, which is called Easy Franchise.
Okay.
EasyFranchise.com, a go-to platform for all things franchising related. And the pain point which I originally had in my head to come up with this business was I was in Dubai giving a talk to OFWs, and they were all looking for businesses which they could put up here in the Philippines where they don't have to do much work. So franchising seemed to be one of the best businesses, low-hanging fruits. But aside from that one, they also needed somebody to run those businesses for them while they were abroad. So Easy Franchise, we have them invest in businesses here, and we can help run the businesses for them. In the midst of the pandemic, people were thinking, who wants to franchise a business in the midst of the pandemic?
How was it?
But the thing is, what was growing during those times were essential franchises. What were essential franchises? Water was an essential franchise. Things like laundry were essential franchises. Things like LPG or convenience stores became essential franchises for people. In fact, things like milk tea and donuts were also essential. Why? Because they provided comfort amidst the uncertainties of the pandemic. So these things were actually growing during that time. And now, because medyo nakaipon yung mga tao, they weren't spending during the pandemic, right now it's revenge business. People are getting more franchises right now, and really interesting ideas have emerged as a result of the pandemic. Like I have right now people who are doing franchising right now. It's called Talk2 e-commerce. They're franchising warehouses together with live selling because right now people are doing live selling and then you need warehouses to have those products. So they're franchising that concept here right now. It's always a continuum. You're not always it's not that you're aggressive or not aggressive. It's that you're always looking for opportunities.
How do you think about businesses like that you mentioned about opening, reopening? Let me give you an example. When we locked down, Zoom, Netflix, and all of those others, even Fiverr, all of those stay-at-home apps or technologies did very, very well. And then as we start to reopen, as a lot of people are pivoting also, competition gets stiffer, they sort of decline a bit. Sales are not as good. Should they have a plan also that should the economy shift, I change my business model in line with what's going on?
I guess so. There has to be a constantly shifting of mindset to adjust, I guess, to the situation. Like initially, like I had a really great class, and it was I just finished it. And for all those who did it as well, the Alibaba Netpreneur Training Program. It's a free program. I suggest for people who have emerging startups or even established businesses to take it. Really mind-blowing type of course. And what I like is how they explained how businesses and organizations should relate, diba? So what they had over here was that this is business environment, this organization, right? So it's two separate entities. So you run your organization this way, and business goes this way. But they said no, that's not how business and organizations run. It's actually parang a DAO, diba?
Okay.
So the symbol of the DAO, let's say that, right? That means that businesses affect how your organization is built, and organizations affect how your business is built. So it just means that however your organization is like should adapt to what the current business environment is like. So you adjust. So if right now everything is going back to going from online, people going offline again, then you've got to put some people into your offline strategy of how you're going to do a whole hybrid type of event. So it adjusts to what the current business environment is. And all of a sudden, maybe 6 months down the road, a year down the road, mag-adjust yan ulit. Baka yung situation, then the organization has to again change to what the current business environment is. So it's a constant, I guess, invention and reinvention of how the company is like. Like for me, it also gave me some thought into how my company should be run. For example, is my job to open up food markets or my job to incubate small food businesses? And if my job is to incubate small food businesses, then does it mean that I should only stick to helping them, provide them a venue to be able to showcase their products? Or does it also mean for me that what I have to do over here is that I have to train them from the very start. I have to incubate them by providing them the skill sets to go there, the competencies to go there. So that means that's why we're developing right now a Mercato Training Academy to teach new food businesses how to set up, because we find that many of them need help with financial housekeeping, with innovation mindset. So these are the type of things that you realize, I guess, on the go.
Okay, I'm curious about this. You're also part of Tetrix. It's a blockchain company. What made RJ Ledesma, Food Master, go into at least something blockchain Web3 related?
No, I think for me the more important thing is that, like I said, I'm involved in the startup industry and many different things. So I also have Easy Franchise. I have a business called Enter PH. We help foreign businesses set up shop in the Philippines, and I'm also very active with the folks from Multisys. So the way that I think about it is that you have to kind of find the way where is business moving here right now. And when you look at the idea of, you have to demystify what blockchain is from what cryptocurrency is, right? And those are two different things, diba? And what's basically blockchain is it's being able to provide authenticity, provenance of where you get your products from. And there's a lot of different avenues or opportunities to be able to create businesses from that one. But if you don't get into it in the first place, if you don't appreciate what you're doing over there, how will you be able to understand what business models to create out of it? Like when I got to Mercado Central, I didn't realize what business models would come out of just something as simple as, maybe before it was just subleasing of property, but you go, oh no, there's something more than that one over there. Like for example, when you look at it, I just recently hosted another event for it's a new product called new company called Artifact, where they were selling digitalized limited edition artwork. Let's say they had Sanso. They had the Sanso artwork, which they actually cut up into different tiles, right? And they were selling. And for each one that they sold, diba, they say they could only sell 25 tiles. So there was limited edition tiles, which you could when you bought the tile, you also got that limited edition archive print, and you got discount pa 10% on all of the Cafe Sanso products, plus access to their future events. So by that way, they were creating value, but at the same time that they were creating value, the money that you got, they would earn from that NFT that they were selling, goes to supporting Institute Sanso, supporting Philippine art community. So actually, wow, so that's the value pala that is unlocked as a result of understanding this is how blockchain works. It's not all about the crypto portion, diba? Or the same way, let's say for example, that I'm in real estate, right? So in real estate, let's say that you have a property that you want to sell, and it's still, the value is still speculative for that property because it's still going to be developed. If there is a way to develop an NFT behind that property, what if all of a sudden, if you invest right now and then the property price increases, you can just not even just get one investor for a property, you can get 100 investors for that one property, because right now, they can come in while it's still affordable, and then if the price increases, all these 100 people benefit from the price increase because they bought that NFT for that property.
Makes sense. To put this to a close, any final words? It's August 2022, 4 months before we close the year. Anything you want to impart to investors that are watching this?
No, I think right now we should be able to support the growth of our local ecosystem here right now as much as we can. Why am I doing Mercato? Because it's my start with why, right? If you look at Simon's next, start with why. What's your higher calling? Mine is to help small food vendors grow, or help small people create a livelihood. And I find it very fulfilling to do that business, especially amidst this pandemic, because many people have to get back on their feet. So I'm asking all the investors out there, people listening here right now, let's find businesses that we can support, where you can see that there's an advocacy, a higher calling, where they're able to help more people make more money, where we're able to lift up more people, especially now during these very challenging times.
Got it. So RJ Ledesma, if you guys learned a lot, comment down below. If you guys have any questions, put it. I'll put all of his links down below also if you want to get in touch with him.
By the way, the RJ Ledesma podcast, please check the RJ Ledesma podcast out. You can also, it's on Facebook Live. You can also follow it on Google, Apple, and Spotify. If you like me, just tag me RJ Ledesma and follow me as well, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
And for sure, you'll get more from RJ than me. So just follow RJ. He's one of the best. So thanks everyone. If you got more from this, you want RJ back, let me know, and then we'll try to see what we can do. So there guys, so I hope you got a lot from my talk with RJ. I hope that was something that gave you enough insight to be able to know and navigate what's happening for the next 4 months, how you start your business, how you can actually invest, and how you can pivot and navigate and be the best version of yourself right here, right now. So if you guys have any questions, put them down below. I'm gonna try to make as much videos and content for you over the next few months, and I'm continually dedicating the best years of my life to see more and more people move from consumers to investors, because I really believe that we're sitting in one of the greatest opportunities to be alive right now. So that's it for now. Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.